Stock Footage High School, Vivica A Fox, a pool party, the useless Lifetime Police Department, and trees that somehow provide deep cover. This is 2018's The Wrong Friend. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
We start with this rich man and his wife who looks like she's melting, persuading Principal Vivica A Fox to let their son Chris into Stock Footage High. It sounds like Chris was trouble at his last school, but his dad's offered the school money, so Chris is in. It's the first day of school now, and it looks like Chris is making the most of his fresh start.
Really?
No. He's already started stalking this girl Riley, the main character, and her friend Kim. Then he jumps out from behind a tree. He's like, hi, I'm Chris, I'm new, and you girls are hot. I'm gonna have a party at my house on Saturday. Can you tell everyone? And they're like, yeah, okay. So that's happening. When Chris leaves, Riley's like, right, Kim, I'm gonna shag him. Don't ruin it. And Kim's like, what about your boyfriend, Matt?
Who?
Cut to the pool party, and I couldn't help thinking there was something very familiar about this. A few weeks ago, I covered The Wrong Cheer Captain. That came out 3 years after this, and these are the same extras dancing by the pool.
True.
So that means that in The Wrong Cheer Captain, they didn't even bother with extras. They just cut away to shots of this film. Ridiculous. Anyway, back to this film. At the party, Riley is arguing with her boyfriend Matt because she's seen a photo on social media of him standing near another girl.
Oh no!
So Matt leaves and Riley goes to the pool. Chris has been watching her and he doesn't think she's drunk enough, so he makes her a special cocktail.
Then you can go to the next level.
What?
Sorry. You don't seem like the kind of girl who deserves to drink warm beer. It's good stuff.
What is it?
Drink.
A few minutes later, Kim arrives and Riley is hammered. Kim's like, Riley, we need to leave. And Chris is like, no, Riley will be staying here.
Make sure she gets home all right.
But as soon as Kim leaves, Chris drags Riley upstairs to his bedroom, where he starts taking photos of her against her will. Then she passes out, and the next thing we see is her waking up at home the next morning. Here we meet Riley's mum, who's a nurse. That's going to be important later. She's like, what time did you get back last night? And Riley clearly doesn't remember a thing. When her mum leaves for work, Riley goes to sunbathe by the pool. And oh no, Chris is there spying on her. And no, of course she can't see him. He's wearing sunglasses and gloves. Why is he wearing gloves? No idea, but that's what he's wearing. And this is a Lifetime movie, so he's also totally hidden by these leaves.
Yeah.
Although we don't see Chris knocking one out in the bushes, it's certainly implied. Later, Riley is telling Kim that she doesn't remember anything about last night. Kim's like, you don't remember Chris taking you home? But hang on. Chris is still watching her, again, under the deep cover of leaves. On Monday at school, Riley apologizes to Matt for being a bitch at the party, but Matt's not interested because he's been sent photos of her with Chris. So Riley approaches Chris.
What did you do to me Saturday night?
And he's like, what do you mean? You loved it.
And what about the pictures?
What pictures? I didn't take any pictures. I didn't send any pictures.
You're a liar.
And when Chris gets home, in a shocking twist, we discover that yes, he did take the pictures and he emails some more of them to her. So the next morning, she goes round to his house and slaps him in the face.
Lucky I didn't break your jaw.
Oh, I love it when you talk dirty.
Chris is still denying any knowledge of these photos, even though they clearly show that he's the one taking them. Riley's like, delete them now or I'm going to the police. But it's clear that Chris has had previous experience with the useless Lifetime Police Department.
The police?
When Riley leaves, Chris goes up to his room and starts drawing, but more on that later. Riley goes over to Matt's house to tell him what's been going on, and Matt's like, right, I'll deal with this.
Ooh, you're odd.
So it's over to Chris's again. Matt's like, okay, Chris, leave Riley alone. And Chris is like, grow up, Matt, you're just annoyed because I had to go on your girlfriend.
Stop. It's not worth it.
Yeah, so that's backfired. Riley and Matt leave and Chris gets back to his drawing of whoever or whatever this is.
That doesn't look good.
Then we get one of these scenes. So the next day at Stock Footage High, Matt and Riley have been called into the principal's office because Lieutenant Forney of the ULPD needs to take Matt to the station. For some reason, when he interviews Matt, he does so with both his parents, Riley, and Riley's mum in the room. Is this normal? Probably not anyway. Lieutenant Forney's like, Chris is covered in bruises, and obviously it was you, Matt.
Obviously.
But he and his family are prepared not to press charges if you two stop harassing him.
Okay.
Riley explains to Lieutenant Forney what's been happening, but he doesn't believe a word of it because Chris said something first.
I see.
I've seen a lot of terrible interactions between victims and ULPD officers, but this one is the most ridiculous yet. At one point, he even gets a video out on his phone of Riley and Chris having sex that I assume Chris sent to him and plays it to her in front of her mum, her boyfriend, and his parents.
What?
Yep. Anyway, they're told there's nothing he can do, and they leave. When Riley gets home, she tells her mum that she only had sex with Chris because she was drugged. But her mum's like, look, I get it, you regret it, but we all make mistakes, no need to make up lies. And Riley's like, thanks, mum, now I can see why Dad left.
Wow.
That night, when Riley's in bed, she gets a video call from an unknown number, showing someone letting themselves into her house with her keys. And oh, look, he's coming up the stairs. So Riley calls 911, and the person leaves. Oh, hi, Detective Jones.
There was someone in this house.
I'll have one of my officers spend the rest of the night in front of the house. There's not much more we can do.
Oh, right. The next day, Riley goes to see Matt and Kim. On her way, Chris is watching her from the bushes again. She can't see him, of course, because he's wearing a black t-shirt and gloves and is totally hidden by shrubbery. Even if she did see him, there's no way she'd know it was him because he's wearing sunglasses. When Riley tells Matt and Kim about the video call she got last night, they decide it's time to get more information about Chris. Why don't they go to the police?
Police are useless.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Pretend I'm into him.
Chris will never fall for it. He knows we're best friends.
So they're gonna have to stage an argument. I bet this is gonna be good.
And you're acting like such a selfish...
A what?
Riley, I'm sick of your drama.
You're a loser, Kenny.
And the Oscar goes to...
Well, it was good enough for Chris to buy it. I suppose it was pretty fortunate he just happens to never be more than a few yards away from them.
She takes advantage of your friendship.
So Chris offers Kim a ride home, but first she's going to go round to his house. I hope she doesn't make it too obvious by asking loads of questions.
What'd you win this for?
How long have you lived here? Where'd you go to school before Kennedy?
Did you really do what Riley says? Force yourself on her?
Do I look like the kind of guy who would do that?
Yes.
Somehow, after that, Chris doesn't suspect a thing.
Oh, come on.
Then Chris's car alarm goes off and oh no, someone's keyed his car. And this gives Kim a chance to rifle through his stuff. She finds a yearbook in his drawer from a private school called St. Joseph's. Luckily, Matt went to football camp with a guy called Parker who goes to St. Joseph's, so they invite him to come to Stockfordge High.
That could backfire.
It's safe today, apparently, because Chris is at home doing angry weights.
I'll tell you everything I can, but I didn't know him real well.
Oh, that's a shame. Sounds like he's not going to be any use at all.
Him and this girl, Lisa Nelson. He forced her? Chris got off.
What about Lisa?
Sorry, what? This went pretty quickly from not sure if I can help because I didn't know him that well to, oh, Chris, yeah. He gave some girl a Severus Snape and now she's dead. So Riley goes over to Lisa Nelson's mum's house and asks her about Chris.
Chris Andrews killed my daughter.
Well, he didn't.
She killed herself.
But her mum reckons it was because Chris snaped her. Then Lisa's mum hands Riley the case files from the incident. Riley, Matt and Kim just can't figure out why Chris is targeting Riley. So Kim tells Chris she needs to speak to him about something, but doesn't want to talk at school, so they'll need to go to Chris's house. Now remember, Kim, don't make it obvious.
Who is Lisa Nelson?
Unbelievable. Chris is like, sorry, never heard of her, but he clearly doesn't like this line of questioning.
Kim, watch yourself.
So Kim runs away. Later on her way home from work, luckily someone comes out and stops it, but this attack has put Kim in the hospital.
Broken arm and a cracked rib.
Really? I don't see how.
Oh good, it's Lieutenant Forney. They tell him it was Chris who did this, but because there's no proof, there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, I've heard the spiel.
Meanwhile, Chris is looking through Kim's phone and sees all the evidence she's been gathering on him while pretending to be into him. And he's not happy about that. Later at home, Riley's going through the file that Lisa's mum gave her. And oh, look, it turns out that the nurse who reported the assault on Lisa Nelson was Riley's mum.
Yes, of course. Now things are beginning to make sense.
So she calls Matt and tells him to come over. And as he arrives, Chris is lurking outside with a knife. Matt offers to stay with Riley, but she reckons she'll be fine as her mum will be back soon. But as Matt leaves, Chris masks up. While Riley's in the bath, she hears someone downstairs. Obviously, it's Chris. Oh, no, it's okay, it's her mum.
Everything okay?
Riley's like, I've got so much to tell you, mum, but first I need to go upstairs and get dressed.
I need a glass of wine.
Somehow Riley's not heard any of this, so she takes her time getting dressed upstairs before coming down to this scene. She's like, take me instead, I'm the one you want, when we've clearly established that that's not the case.
It was your mother who contacted the police over nothing more than a misunderstanding. It forced me to go to school with trash like you.
Excuse me?
Imagine living in a house like this with a pool in Southern California and still getting called trash. Then again, how does Riley's single mum afford a house like this on a nurse's salary? That's a question to which we never find out the answer. Anyway, Riley's mum pulls a scalpel out of her pocket that I assume she's brought home from work. Why, no idea, but she stabs Chris in the leg with it. This gives Riley a chance to run upstairs and grab a gun. So he's dead.
He's dead.
And that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.